a short segment because we've only got one harness track racing in North America right now. That's Cal Expo. They're racing tonight and just announced. I think Mr. Brower might have a little more information, but they're going to be racing Tuesday and Wednesday, I believe, next week.
Literally hot off the presses here, breaking kind of a news. Cal Expo is going to adjust their racing schedule, guys, and they're going to go Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, and that might be the foreseeable future as long as they are allowed to continue to race by the governor of California. Post time will change dramatically, though. It'll be 3:05 Pacific, and entry box will be open and entries will be taken tomorrow on Sunday. So, I'm sure, that will be announced by Gary when he goes on the air tonight and stuff like that. But listen, for all of us with, really nothing else to do other than sit on the couch and watch FS1 with the thoroughbreds and stuff like that, maybe TVG, that's pretty good news. And I'm sure we all know Chris Schick, who's the general manager there at Cal Expo. He's the sharpest guy in the tank. And he knows that Tuesday and Wednesday is wasteland when it comes to racing. So he could be the only racetrack open at all. I think that's a great idea. So they'll continue to distribute free PPs, I hope. And, it'll give everybody a little something to do. I think that's great news. And that's literally from 10 minutes ago.
And we're going to take the initiative of trying to help those of you that don't know about racing or know very little about it. We want to get you guys a best bet. Each of us have our own best bet tonight at Cal Expo. So we're going to try to get you a little bit of info there. And I haven't even introduced these guys. That guy you see on the other side of the screen, that was Dave Brower. He is a TV man, I guess we'll call him, co-host at the Meadowlands and Handicapper. The guy you see right there, Joe Mazzone. He is at Hawthorne. Not right now, he's not, but former track announcer at Maywood Park, handicapper at Hawthorne in Chicago. Ken Terpenning, great friend of mine. He's a one of the co-hosts for our three wide shows when we do shows on the road, and he knows how to handicap a little bit. And who else came in here? Is that Brett Reese?
Yeah, I'm here.
Brett Reese is
All right.
here. He's what's your title exactly, Brett? Because I get it confused all the time.
Regional Racing Operations Manager.
Regional Racing Operations Manager at
For
Tioga.
Vernon and Tioga Downs.
Vernon and Tioga, two
And
tracks.
Vernon as well.
This guy does everything. But we're going over a best bet at Cal Expo tonight, so you're not going to want to miss these because these are like the best handicappers that I could find. I asked Garnett to come on, he couldn't do it, so I got these guys instead. So, Ken's second class here along with me. So we're going to start it off. Who wants to go first? Does anybody want to take dibs? Joe knows what dibs are. So, Joe, you can start us off here. What's your best bet at Cal Expo for tonight?
Thanks for volunteering me there.
There you go.
So anyways, I don't want to take too much of your time here. I'm happy to be with this esteemed group. Thanks for having me. First off, I've been following it a little bit here for Hawthorne and trying to get a grasp of what's going on over there. I know a lot of these guys from Hawthorne. I know a lot of them from 3 to 5, 2 to 5, That's the night is in since August. Jimmy Lackey trains and drives. I know this horse from Hawthorne the past couple of summers. The horse qualified. Don't even worry about that qualifier. I know this guy gets these horses ready. He's a good trainer off a layoff. I like the rail in this spot. This race doesn't exhibit too much speed besides the likely favorite, number 6. Looks like we made it. And a nickel, and he's going to be gutting out. So what I'm hoping for here is a 2-hole or maybe at worst a 3-hole trip. And if I can get that with a horse with some value and have a shot coming down the lane, that's what I like. So that's why I'm going with number 1, Rockin' Around Heaven, in tonight's third at the Cal Expo.
Pretty good pick there. Ken, who do you got?
Hey, Joe stole a pick. So
No!
So I come loaded with a backup pick. But Joe, tell us real quick, Rockin' Around Heaven, first start this year, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
First start this year. And like I said,
I like that horse a lot. But Go ahead.
Jimmy's he's a great layoff trainer, and I'm sure you're going to see some action first. I mean, it's you're going to get some money bet on this horse, no doubt.
For sure. Good pick. My backup pick, I guess I'm going to have to default to my old drone out there at Cal Expo, Mr. Mark Mellowman for Robin Sue Clements. Race number 7, number 4. Mark Mellowman stormed home last week, basically got caught in traffic, shuffled out the back door, and had to come from the back 40. And as my mask indicates, and by the way, the hospital did not want me to donate this mask because, it's a used Dunkin' Donuts napkin. But it
Did you have a donut or a sandwich?
Both. And a coffee, but sweet and savory. So Mark Mellowman, 7th race 4 hole, all in.
Beautiful.
All right, Mr. Brower, who do you got?
All right, here we go. I looked the whole card over. Again, this is mile track racing, so we're all used to that. And, they race out there, and especially with the uncertain future, I can imagine everybody will have their horse prepped, trained, and ready to race. So I found a price play in the 7th race tonight. The favorite is going to be California Rock, Luke Plano and company, but he's shown a little bit of vulnerability down the long stretch there in Sacramento. So I like the 1 Platinum Time, who gets the post position reversal and relief for Braxton Boyd and Team Wiseman. We all know the Wiseman story at this point. We're all pulling for them, so we'd love to see them crank out a win here. I think he can pull the upset because he's got serious speed to at least protect inside position, and then hopefully get the jump in a nice clear lane on California Rock late. That will make the big difference. Plus, the extra week off is going to help. These horses, that are used to being raced week to week to week, now potentially, day to day to day, who knows? The extra week will help. He's got the rail. Braxton will send. He will stalk California Rock if he can, and then I think he pounces on him late. He's like 5 or 6 to 1 in the morning line. I don't know if we're going to get that, but maybe even second choice status would be good enough for me. Platinum Time, number 1 in race 7.
Hey, Dave, real quick.
Sure.
Platinum Time, Braxton Boyd taking off Mark Mellowman. Mark Mellowman gets the Bobcat, Dean McGee. How about a trifecta with California Rock?
I got no problem with that. I mean, you can't throw California Rock off the ticket, but he will be much more hard-pressed to deliver the goods tonight from that move to the outer post because he's not a snap lever. If you watch a couple of his replays, he doesn't blast out of the gate. He's been brushed to the front in his last 2, and then he's been unable to hang on. So, I just think he's up against it, especially if he's the much shorter price, which I think he will be.
Hey, if I can interject, 7th race, 2 Raised in a Ruckus, owned by my good friend who lives down the block from me, Don Sullivan. So I'm wishing him good luck tonight. Phil Knox trains Mingo out there. I think this horse is going to improve here too.
All right.
Sounds like we got a protector here.
There we go. The 7th race is loaded with picks tonight, and I'm not picking one in the 7th, but I want to hear who Brett has tonight at Cal Expo to see if we can get out of the 7th race to end this thing out.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a stab elsewhere here, guys. I'm gonna go to race 8, which kicks off the late pick 4, $40,000 guarantee in this late pick 4 here at Cal Expo. Now, I will be honest, I don't follow Cal Expo, but I looked at this 8th race as I was looking through the program, and one thing really caught my eye. There's a lot of soft speed, what I like to call soft speed in the race, which means that there's a lot of horses that go to the front end but seem to collapse late. I see the number 4 Sing Along, who could be favored. Likes the front end with Luke Plano. Really nothing special more than a 56 pacer. I see the 5, Place at the Beach, who's going to be bet on account of the horse is dropping down, but he looks awful on paper, to be honest. And then a horse like number 7, Along Came Jane, that also has quit in 56. But then I'll take a look to my best bet of the night. Number 3, La Diva de Rosa, flew home the last 2 starts out with Jacob Cutting in the bike, who he'll do the teaming again tonight, but 2 starts back in this same company, just missed at odds of 3 to 1. Paced the last quarter of 27-3. This, I think, tonight is his chance right here. This 9-year-old mare, if they bunch up Jacob Cutting, it's going to be up to him to get this one in open space late and get this one to the wire to kick off tonight's late pick 4.
All right, you guys are all late. See, I'll be in bed by those races, most likely. But, I'm a morning person, and those late races, they go off after midnight. Ugh, it's rough. But
Just admit it. You shop in the Depends aisle, don't you?
I'm pretty close to that. 32 shopping in the senior citizens aisle. But
Yep.
I'm actually going to start the card with a pick, and I am going
There you
first.
go.
First race, number 6, Shock and Awe. This horse gets a driver change to Bobcat Dean McGee, and has 2 seconds in 8 starts this year. Has been racing in non-winners of 3,500 his last 3 starts, and gets a drop in class back to where he was second 2 times in a row prior to moving up in class. The driver change is big. It's a short field, and 7-2 morning line, because they are going to bet the crap out of the 3 Magnifique for Luke Plano. And I just think this race is going to set up. There's a little bit of early speed. If they can get down to the half in 56 and a piece, I think this horse will be coming late and has a big shot to loop the field at a nice price. Decent value to start the night. The 6, Shock and Awe. Now, I wanted to get an opinion from everybody here on the current state of affairs in racing about this virus. So we were basically all shut down everywhere except Cal Expo. That's why we're doing this, because Cal Expo is the only track racing right now. So start with you, Dave. Have you heard anything, any type of news in New Jersey about what may happen coming up with potentially racing?
Unfortunately, we have not. We are totally at the discretion of the governor of New Jersey, and I watch each and every daily press conference from the local governors, et cetera, and it's heading in the other direction, fellas. You know, we're actually ordering all non-essential businesses and things like that to be shut down as of this evening. I have a second job that I go to my grocery store and manage at night. It's been exhausting. I don't have to tell you that. So we're not even in the discussion phase of going back to racing. But I want to implore you guys, because it's rare to get all of you on the phone at the same time or on the video chat here. When we finally do go back, whether it's in May, whether it's in June, July, or who knows, we all just have to be vigilant, because it's a lot of information gets disseminated by us. Try to stick to the facts. There's so much bad news and things like that out there, and rumors and stuff like that. So when we finally do get the chance to go back to work, I hope everybody on this call will do their part. And I know all you guys. So, let's get together, let's promote our product. Let's make sure it stays visible and in the mainstream. And then, when we get a few bucks, we throw 100 in our account and fire away.
Absolutely. Joe out in Chicago, what's the latest updates there? Because you guys just canceled this weekend.
Right, similar to Dave out in New Jersey, New York. The governor just came out tonight, starting at 5. Well, about 45 minutes from now. We are under lockdown. Essential businesses, same thing. Unfortunately for me, my second job is in the trade show industry, events and exhibits. So we're getting hit pretty hard in that end of things. And then to add to insult not insult, but for the working man, the horse racing industry, Hawthorne shut down. There is no end. And like Dave said, the more tests that become available, unfortunately, the more people are testing positive. And they say that's a good thing. I don't know, but let's hope they get something done. Everybody gets together, puts their collective brains, and everybody just works together, get this figured out, and let's ride it out and see what happens in June, come May, June.
I agree. And Brett, on the New York side of things, what are you hearing up your way in upstate New York?
Right now, at the moment, we don't have really an answer. When they broke the news that this was going to happen, I was actually really disappointed, because it is my first year as the operations manager, and there's just everything was set and ready to go for Tioga and Vernon. But the way I look at it, it's not just the horse racing industry that's battling this. It's the NBA, the NHL, how about the basketball players and the college wrestlers? They're not even getting a chance, to live their dream. And I wouldn't say, that it couldn't turn around in maybe 2 or 3 weeks. But every time I seem to turn on the TV, like Brower said, if you watch Cuomo, because I watch New York, and then you look from the White House there, Dr. Fauci, the real small little guy there, he seems to say it's going to be months before we actually see, the worst of this. And we're only in week 1, more or less. They wanted a 2-week quarantine, but it's not looking good right now, sadly. But I do think that there's signals that it's not even at its worst yet, because even like Turning Stone, which is right next to Vernon, they closed, and they're on an Indian, reservation and nation. So they probably have some rules that they could have just went ahead and stayed open. But no, they chose the decision to close too. I mean, everybody's closing, but I think what's going on is people are wanting to close to get it over with. So these, other than the state restrictions, anything that can close, they just want to close it to try to stop the spread of this, and then that maybe will get us to a better spot quickly than just breaking the rules and things like that. So got to stay positive and just hope for the best 24/7, and just hope that this passes than later.
Absolutely. And by the way, congrats on the promotion there at Vernon and Tioga.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Ken, you have a little update about Ohio racing.
Well, not so much of an update. Mostly everybody knows already what's going on here. We were just shut down this week as well. Pretty much we are postponed until the 27th of March, which is next Friday. I'm not sure how realistic that number is. I'm hoping. I mean, obviously, I'm an owner and a trainer, so it would really be nice if we can get back to racing sooner. And, I don't have a second job in a grocery store or any other place, so we need to get racing here quickly. But we also need to respect the safety and the health of our folks, because without our folks, we have nothing. So that is our priority, and hopefully our OHHA and our track management will get together here and make a sound decision for everybody.
Yeah.
Let me add to what Ken said, too. Just a second, Rod. When it comes to our respective governors here in New Jersey, Phil Murphy is a pro horse racing guy. He has been on our side since he was put into office. So he and Jeff Corral have a very good relationship. And believe me, if there's a way he could let us race or going forward, he will. And I want to say the same for Ohio Governor Mike DeWine. You guys know I anchor the coverage out at the Little Brown Jug, and Governor DeWine has been to the Jug 2 straight years. This guy likes the game. He comes in the booth, he shakes our hand, we talk. So if there's any way he can let it happen, he will, and that's a big plus, for us in Ohio and in New Jersey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. We would not have been able to race as long as we did if it wasn't for him and Renee.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you guys said. It's a tough situation, obviously, but at the same time, it's kind of a reality check. We all live in America, and we kind of take things for granted sometimes, and we just let things go and go and go, and this hit us, and it hit us fast. So I think this is kind of that. Hey, let's slow down for a second, think about it, start over. Here we go. Do it again. And, for me as an owner of a few racehorses, I race in Ontario and I race in Ohio, so it's hit me in both spots, and it is tough right now, but at the same time, I understand what they're doing. Let's all take a step back and let this thing calm down and get where it needs to be, to where we can get back to racing. That's the main thing, getting back. So with that, we want everybody to stay safe, stay inside, don't go anywhere if you don't have to. And I want to thank all these guys. These are the faces and voices of harness racing. Thank you guys for being on, and you guys stay safe and stay home too.
Yep, we'll try, buddy. All right,
Thank
same
you.
to the fellas. Yep,
Thank
take
God.
care. Maybe we can do it again. All right.
Absolutely.
Sweet and savory.
Bang, bang.